YouTube. If you guys aren't, you can go watch all of the episodes that we record. They're all there. I don't know why I called it episodes, but you know what I mean. Um, Woke Wednesdays are also on there. All of the Tradehouse Queens calls are on there. We have some fire on there for you guys. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So let me read some of these out. For this group of women, grateful for another 24. Yes, for this community. Yes, for a group of inspiring women. Yes, dog, home, husband, of course. God, thank you. Yes, family, books. That is amazing. I Am Academy. I am so happy and grateful for I Am Academy. If it wasn't for I Am Academy, I wouldn't have the pleasure of knowing these incredible women who have had such an impact on my life. And I believe I've had an impact on so many other people's lives just due to the fact that I've been able to have access to this community. For those of you who don't know me, I didn't really have a clue that I would ever be doing anything like this, right? I was a waitress, I was an operations manager, I was a full time student. This was never part of my plan to become an entrepreneur. This was never part of my plan to be a trader. And, just kind of fell in my lap. And I'm just so grateful that it did because I wouldn't have known any other way. And I've had so many blessings happen to me since then. Just again, the friendships, the relationships, so much, so much, so many blessings, so many blessings. But without me going on and on, we have a super special guest. Can you guys drop some sevens in the chat for our special guest this evening? I'm going to drop a bunch of sevens in the chat. This is a woman who I had no idea who she was until January when we had the advantage of going to Orlando, Florida for the women's event. Shout out to anyone who was at the women's event this past January. It was such an incredible, eye-opening event for me. The month of January was really super crazy for me. For those of you who know, my grandfather passed away. Big part of my family, big part of my life. And that week was the same week as the women's event. And I wasn't going to go. I told all the girls, I don't think I'm going to go. I'm going to stay with my family. Like I literally just flew to Florida that week to go see him before he passed. And he ended up passing away 2 days after I got there. And the event was like, I think like 6 days later or something like that. And I was like, I don't think it's the right time. And, the day before the event, I said to myself, you know what? Going home is not going to do me any good. I think I really need to be around positive energy. And I decided to go. And I'm so happy that I did. I had such an amazing time. It boosted my energy. It made me feel so good to be around inspiring women. And I learned so, so much. And at that event, we got to hear from our special guest on the call tonight, Miss Amber P2K in I Am Academy. I am so excited, Amber, to hear your story and to ask you a few questions. Me and the girls, the Tradehouse Queens, have a bunch of questions for you. So I hope you're prepared to answer some questions. Super, super excited. But before we ask you some questions, feel free. I would love to hear, and I think our audience would love to hear a little bit about you, your story, and who you are. So if you don't mind, take it away, girl.
Hi, ladies. How are you? It's so, so nice and I'm very honored to be in the presence of all of you guys. We all have a story. And, I've learned in the past, our entire story is not for everyone, but each one of us has a section of our story we can take and impact another woman or, another individual man or woman. And I think that's very massive in knowing that we don't stand behind any like status or rank or I've been in this for 4 years or I've been in this for 4 months. We all have that story and it comes from heart and experience and really having that purpose to really share that and express it to someone. So again, I'm very, very happy to be here to tell you like a little bit of a snip part of my story that does connect with I Am Academy for sure, because I do this with my husband, Dave Pasquale. And he really was the first person who even got me into that this was an industry of relationship marketing. Like I didn't even know it was a thing. I've talked to women, and I've taught and I've networked without even really knowing it, and I just love to just speak. I love to speak to individuals. I love to speak from my heart. It doesn't have to be perfectly written down or trained or anything like that. I've just always done that my whole life. And so I actually come from a music background. I went to a private music school, and that got me into a different kind of impact with kids, teenagers, and adults. Is I would teach autistic children and piano and voice. I've been a pianist since I was like 6 years old and a vocalist since I was like 6. And you guys, I really did that for about 12 years. The cash flow quadrant that we go through, it's like, working for someone and then being like a 1099 and then being a full out entrepreneur where everything's on you. And so I was in that middle. I've definitely done, you guys, tons of jobs. I've had tons of bosses. If you ask my husband, he'll be the first to tell you that I don't like anyone to tell me what to do. So I was like, this is not working. This is not going to be my life. And so I went into teaching the music, which is very, very impactful. I mean, that definitely, was a blessing and saved so many things in my life. But I was still in the middle. If I didn't show up to teach music, I didn't get paid. And there was still a cap and so forth. And uh, just a part of my story I'm going to share with you, and it's funny because if any of you guys do follow me or start following me or whatever, then you'll know that my dog is a huge why along with a lot of things. But it being my dog, it could be your child, your son, your daughter, your mother, your dad, your niece, nephew, anything. The point is it's a why, and it's something that you do why you do it. And so thanks, Jenna. You guys follow me and I'll support you guys right back and follow you guys right back. I'm very active. I love to engage and encourage everybody what you guys are posting on Instagram. But my dog actually had to have some teeth cleaning today, which put him under anesthesia and things like that or whatever. And I'm like a big wimp when it comes to my dog. And so I'm like a mess like all day until I get him back. But the point is I was teaching music for 12 years. Again, grateful for it. I wouldn't change it for the world. Making, good income at the same time, it was still a cap. In that area, I was still moving up. Like I was moving up in income, moving up in the clientele and things that I was teaching. But about, let's just say roughly 2 years ago, my dog actually got cancer. And so to me, that was one of the biggest blows. I did before I turned 20, right before I turned 21, I lost my dad to cancer. I've lost a couple of people to cancer in the same year last year. So I'm just like, I'm feeling like, stop taking things away from, like I was getting mad and stuff. And so he definitely was able to have a surgery, great quality of life, everything like that. Everything worked out. He runs around like a little puppy now. But what came with that was a high 5-figure fee. And I had a lot of people say, Amber, don't be so hard on yourself. Most people don't have that, because I didn't have that. Just be like, here you go. Here it is in cash. Here it is. Do what you need to do and things like that. I had to borrow it and get help and high interest and all this stuff. I do it 10,000 times over, but I would do it differently. But what it was is I did have multiple people say, most people don't have it. That's not normal, things like that. And the thing that kept on saying in my head was, well, I don't want to be most people. Like, I don't want to be most people. I don't want to be that normal. Like, if my dog needs X amount of 5 figures, I should be able to choose, do I want to give the clinic, like the hospital, cash, or do I want to do card? Like, I should have those kind of options, right? Like, because it's there, that's in my account. And I didn't have that. So I was like, even though I'm on a path and a purpose of impacting through music, there's something bigger. There has to be. I know there's something bigger. And I had actually, my husband and I both got connected to actually I Am Academy and Jason Brown back in 2016. And basically 16, beginning of 2017. So obviously, as we know, that was a little while ago. And so that got introduced to me of relationship marketing, but first and foremost, trading. I saw these lines going everywhere. I mean, I didn't know. The only word I knew, ladies, was like currency. Okay, let's just put it out there. Okay, I didn't know MetaTrader 4 is like a. I was like, I'm sorry, speaking English. But I was like, if one person can do this, you don't need a boss. Like, you need your laptop, you need some Wi-Fi, you need some skill, and things like that, mindset, all that stuff. And so I was like, I don't care, I'm going to learn it. So I took that time. Now, I don't know if many of you guys know, back in 2017, I Am Academy was not really I Am Academy. It wouldn't have all these academies. It had foreign exchange. That's it. Okay, you learn foreign exchange. There you go. There's the academy. And so I was like, okay, we're going in. And so I learned to trade on MetaTrader for leverage. I learned about, all kinds of things, you guys, percentages, pricing, things like that. I really enjoyed trading gold. It wasn't like life changing. And I actually tried to get into the relationship marketing because I love talking to people and helping. But at that time, you guys, there was no like Katie Brown, Elaine, Steve Max, Mike Soter, like the leadership, because that was only, a few short years into the company. And that's what I needed. I didn't know what I was doing, you guys. Like, I was chasing something. Don't chase anything, you guys. Don't chase a thing. Because when you align yourself, you're going to attract it. It just comes. But I was chasing it and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to step back. I need to learn a few things about a few things. I need to learn more how to speak and talk and collect money from people, because that's what we are doing. That's what you're problem solving, but they're paying for a service, a training, education, mentorship, guidance. You're wearing all the hats. So you need to learn how to know that that's part of the process with posture. And so learning finances and all that, I stepped away for about, I want to say, almost a year and a half. And I stepped away with intention, knowing that this platform was the vehicle. I knew the people were here. I knew Jason Brown, and anything good is going to stem from Jason Brown, which of course came Katie and Elaine, and things like that, Mike Sotero, Steve Max, and so many others. But I needed to go learn some things to come back and implement it, to take on mentorship. So that's what I did, you guys. About 17 and a half months ago. It was like August 2020. And so I went completely all in on everything, you guys: trading, foreign exchange, HFX, and relationship marketing, because people knew that I knew some stuff about trading, but I didn't know what to share. So there was like 2 days I didn't sleep, you guys. I was on Go Live. I was on the trainings. I was on the mentorship. I didn't miss any call. And at that time I was still teaching 2 jobs a day. And within 10 months, I did step away from that. And now I am able to do this full time. And so I did share with you guys a little bit about the why. But sometimes it's just that thing that clicks and you're like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. Even though you're doing something you're loving and grateful for, you're like, no. Like I have God's hands on me. Like, that's my purpose. Why is someone going to put a cap on me? There's no cap. There's no cap on our lives, and what we do and what we can value and offer people. So I was like, it just snapped, and that was it. I was all in. I was changing everything. I was scared. I didn't know really what I was doing, but I trusted the mentorship in the vehicle. And I mean, you guys, the opportunities that's presented. I mean, I was just texting Katie and Elaine, and I was like, my cup is always overflowing. Like, it doesn't matter if things aren't going my way or the back office is taking 5 steps back when I took 2 steps forward. Like, it does not matter. It's just we're always overflowing, you guys. And just last thing I want to say before you guys have questions, I prayed for a community of women. I don't have women friends that really, don't say you're crazy for staying up at 2 a.m. or getting up early or whatever. That's what I've been hearing. And I'm finally around women like you who like, hey girl, you're crushing at 2 a.m. Good for you. Sometimes, you got to sleep a couple of hours, get back up and do it again. And so I prayed for women like you guys, and I prayed to be around a community like you guys. So I just want to know how grateful I am to be able to connect with some new faces here. So you guys, thanks for listening to a little bit of my story, but I'm looking forward to anything else I can offer and any questions you guys have.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. That is incredible to hear some of your story. And you already answered one of my questions, which is, what is your why? But we have some ladies who we already have some questions prepared for you. I would love to bring Kat because she has a little one. So I want to bring her to the table for her to ask you her question here in case little man wakes up and wants mama.
Hey, Kat.
So, Kat, would you feel free to ask Amber your questions?
Yep. I just want to thank you, Amber, for taking the time out of your day to just be here and chat with us and share your story and your wisdom. Like Jenna said, my name is Kat, 21, here in Houston. I've been in the business for about 2 years, and I always wanted to become an entrepreneur, but I didn't really know what that was going to be like, like, because they never taught us. But I know that, with entrepreneurship, everybody sees the lifestyle, everybody sees the money, the freedom, and they want it. But the reason everybody leaves, or a lot of people leave early, is because of the mentality. Did you have that mentality coming in, when you met Jason back in 2017, or what did you have to develop to get that mentality?
Sure, absolutely. So I did not come in with any personal development. So I'm very grateful for that. I didn't start personal development until honestly 17 months ago. The mentality, because I'm a pretty strong, blunt woman anyway. My mentality was there, whether I knew what I was doing or not. My mentality was there that this is not like a plan A. This is a plan only plan. There's no A, B, or C. This is the only plan because I know it works for other people, so it's gonna work for me. And I knew my work ethic. The working on the mindset of being more strict with me versus me. It's a you versus you. So you got to be more strict with, okay, Amber, don't compare yourself to their 2 years to my 2 months. So that's what I had to work on. The mindset for that was, I know I can get there, but the patience, the mindset on patience, is it's the law of time. If you want it, it's done. You're gonna have it. But if you come into, like, let's just example, obviously I am Academy. You've been in for 4 weeks. You see yourself as, I'm going to create a $2,000 residual income for myself, 10,000, whatever it is. That's great. You're going to have it. You're going to get it done. If that's what you see and that's what you surround yourself with and you put in the work so it works, that's what you're going to have. But are you going to have it in 4 weeks? No, it's the law of time. You can't skip all the processes in between a P150, P600. And it's not ranks, it's personal promotions for you versus you. What did I learn from starting to P150? What did I learn? What I learned from P150 to 600 to develop? What did I learn? Because to be able to develop, we have to know what to do, how to do it, how to talk, how to speak, if we're going to help 500 individuals opposed to 12, 30 opposed to 75. And we have to learn those skills. If we skip, I promise you, you're not going to hold anything you do get. You could get something fast, sure, why not? Trading account, money, things like that. But if you don't have that mindset, like you're talking about, our personal development and that process and that patience and that law of time, which again is what I had to work on for the mindset, is you'll get there and it's going to slide right back down until you learn what you need to learn. And then you'll climb back up and you'll build it 2 times strong. So the mindset of not giving up and this is my plan was definitely there. But I was like, you know what? I don't care if it takes me 6 years or 4 years or 3.5 or 2. It doesn't matter. There was no like end goal. It was just, Amber, I am allowing you to have time to get to where you're going to get to, because it's already done. You already know, you already think in your hand, you can think it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. So it's already done. Just, I kept having to tell my mind that you have to allow yourself to give yourself the time to develop and you will be there. So if I would tell anyone about mindset, is be easy on yourself, show yourself some love, but also, have a conversation with yourself in the mirror about time and patience and your mentality and what you're doing to develop it. Hopefully that answered it.
It did, and he actually woke up just on time.
There you go. See, we're perfect timing, girl.
But I have one other question. Self-sabotage tends to be a theme with everybody, just in general. What was your biggest like self-sabotage, and how did you overcome it with entrepreneurship?
Routines. And I'm still working on it and still trying to accomplish it, and overcome little things. But you work on like a routine, like right when I started, I did not know, hey, Amber, set up a strict morning routine. Hey, Amber, set up a strict nighttime routine, and I had to learn that, and I'm still working on making sure I stay true to that. But it comes down to intention of not self-sabotaging yourself. So if you have major intention in the morning and major intention at nighttime like not go to bed until your next day is planned, or wake up in the morning and whatever's right for you, working out or reading your books or the Bible, personal development, whatever it is. If you go intentionally and do things even when we don't want to do them, you'll be less likely to self-sabotage yourself or compare yourself and things like that, because you'll be too much focused on, okay, at 9 a.m. I have to do this, but I only have an hour. So 10 a.m. I have to move on to this. And so if you're like, if I don't get that done, then I missed that today. So how important is your personal development? How important is working out? So you're so focused on your own lane that it almost subconsciously and consciously, hopefully, doesn't even give you a chance to self-sabotage. So that's what I would say is routines. And that's, again, for me, what I'm always continuing to work on. There are definitely plenty of days I fail, definitely plenty I don't. But if I fail at a morning routine, I can't let that run my whole day and self-sabotage, like ruin my whole day. I just say, okay, you know what, Amber, you missed out on personal development this morning. Move on to the next thing you're supposed to do and start your day. And so I do a lot of talking to myself, and I talk to the dog a lot. I'm like, okay, we didn't read our books today, but we got to move on to this, and again, that's showing yourself some love. But if you stay in your lane, you're less likely to kind of self-sabotage in that way.
Thank you.
Of course.
That was amazing. Routines have been coming up for me so much recently. It's like everything comes back to the routine. I love how you just put emphasis on like showing yourself some love, not feeling so hard on yourself if you don't get something done, but making sure that you move on to the next task so that you're not missing a bunch of things, right? So the next lady I would like to bring up, I think it goes smoothly transitions into the next questions, is Ariel, my other queen from Canada. I would love to have you unmute and ask your questions. I think they flow perfectly.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Again, Amber, I want to thank you for getting on this call and answering our questions. I'm gaining a lot of value, taking a lot of notes, so I'm grateful for that. But one of the questions that I do have prepared for you today was kind of just the beliefs that you had coming into this, and how you were able to like your underlying beliefs that you had coming into this, and how you went about challenging them when you saw that they may have been getting in the way of your success, or I guess your progress within, I guess the business and trading in general.
Sure. Yeah, that's a really great question. And shout out to Canada. We got Dave and I get a chance to work a lot with like Tommy Ooze. He's a P2000 out of Canada as well, and he's a great leader. So shout out to Canada right there. Well, we'll be coming. That's on the map though to be coming there. But that is honestly a really great and honestly real authentic question. That's something that I love, is when I came in here with the beliefs, is like you guys have heard. I believe in my mentorship. I knew, and I did my research on who I wanted as leaders, because remember, we need to qualify as well. Like if we're joining something, we need to qualify too, but like, when are you going to be there for me, things like that. So my belief system was strong in that. Whenever it was with trading or business and I was getting a little discouraged, I don't know if it was just belief system. I do have a very, very strong belief system, but like all of us, we're human. We can say, well, I don't know, is this working for me today? Is it working for me this week? I know it works, but is it working for me this week and this day? The best answer I could possibly give any single person for that is, whether you're at work, when you get off work, or if you're at home, whether you can be at home or you're at work, or morning or night, doesn't matter, whatever schedule, log in. That's literally my simple question. Log in when you're thinking about belief system, or is this working for me? Log in, pick a go live and get on it. Like just pick one. Some of the cards, pick one randomly. Like take action all the time. Action. If you're feeling a little slump and stuff like that, just literally stop what you're doing if you can, or when you say, hey, when I get home from work, I'm gonna plug into a 30-minute go live, if that's all you have, or an hour or 15. Like plug into the go live for trading. For the business side, on the belief side, call a mentor. Call a mentor, be real, be like, you know what, I'm struggling today, or I'm struggling this week on the business side. I've done this, I haven't seen my results. And again, very blessed with mentorship. So if you're calling, being authentic with them, in a real way, and like, hey, I'm looking for coaching right now, I'm struggling, then that's a belief system for that. The one thing I do, because I do utilize my mentors for sure, but again, it comes down to you. It comes down to me. What am I going to do? So if I'm on the business side, being like, oh no, I'm not seeing some results, like I'm getting discouraged, some things, I'm looking too much in the back office, like I told myself I wouldn't do and stuff. The number one thing I do, number one for trading, log in, go into go live. Number two for business, I reach out to 15 new people on social media. 15 new, that I take immediate action. I go into Instagram or Facebook and I reach out to 15 new people. Now it's not talking about the business for 15 new people. It's engaged in 15 new people. Hey, I'm Amber. I saw you did a comment on that you are a stay-at-home mom. That's amazing. I'm a stay-at-home dog mom. I love your Instagram. I love your feed, and you're very creative. Like compliment, reach out to 15 new people. I promise you the next morning, you'll have some DMs. And that's how I've made a lot of relationships. And now you've created, because leaders can create momentum out of thin air, but it's the action we take. Meet the new people, do the 15 follow-ups. And now you are creating momentum within your business, within your belief system, within your discipline, within everything. And that's the biggest thing is it's simplify it down. Belief on trading, log in and go to a go live. Belief on business, reach out to 15 new people. So hopefully that helped answer your question too, but that is personally what I do on those two sides immediately.
Yeah, thank you so much. That actually definitely helped a lot. I'm going to go reach out to 15 new people after this call.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so my next question, I have one more question. How do you keep your feelings separate from your decision making? I feel like that's something that I'm struggling with a little bit recently. And I feel like, quite a few people might also be struggling with keeping their feelings and emotions kind of separate from their decision making within the business.
Yeah, you ladies are so smart. These are just the most amazing questions. So a beautiful, beautiful question that you're asking. And, I've talked to my husband about this a lot because it gets emotional. I'm so grateful for what I have. And sometimes when we come into a situation, I'll get emotional because how grateful I am, but I'll get emotional, be like, why is this happening? So we have to learn how to control that. I have not started that journey early. I actually started that journey even just a few short months ago, like 2 months ago. And I want to bring up this book right here. And this is the very first thing that I am doing and that I would recommend anyone to do about keeping emotions and the business and choices is going to be Emotional Intelligence 2.0. This book, read it slow, understand it before you move on. But this is slowly working on emotions of personal life, emotions on personal life, of choices and business choices, and just really trying to separate. As in, again, I'm learning right now. And it's the process of staying in my lane. Like, this is what I have to do. When you stay in your lane, you're controlling your discipline, you're controlling your emotions, which lead to your choices, which lead to a happier day and everything. But for making choices, I first go into problem solving mode. And my husband helps me with this all the time. Like, yes, this is going on. I like it or don't like it, and why is this going, all that stuff. That's not going to help anything, why it's happening or who said this or who said whatever. Go into problem solving. How is this going to solve, how is this problem going to be solved so you can just move on and it's the energy and anything is not around you anymore. Okay. Or if it is, how do you like get closure? And that comes with a lot of Emotional Intelligence 2.0. That's what it is. You got to go into problem solving mode of how do I problem solve this in a great business professional way, and then release it, like let it go. And you can, you can't control other people, but and then just let it go on choices. But for me personally, that's what I do is I'm like, for me dealing with personal or maybe another customer or client or leader and things like that, it's like, how can I help? How can we problem solve this? And if it's just between me and me, I'm like, Amber, like, crying about it 5 minutes not gonna help. Waste of makeup. So it's like, okay, so how do we just problem solve this, whether I want to do it right now or not? Because sometimes we don't want to problem solve when it's all in, we're all emotional. But we have to figure out, okay, Amber, you got stuff to do. Okay, you're a boss woman, you're a businesswoman, you got things to run, you got people to talk to. What can you do to problem solve this? And then we move on. Like, it gets better after 5 minutes and 15 minutes and an hour. And then you're like, okay, so I don't really care about it no more, you know, or I've released it and stuff. But just go into problem solving mode and pick up this book, you guys, and read it slow. Don't rush through this book. That's what I would recommend. They actually, even if you get this on Amazon, because Amazon is, if it's not on Amazon, I don't get it. But this actually comes with an assessment test that you can log in and actually take an assessment test for yourself of what your emotional intelligence is. And that really makes you aware of a lot of things, because awareness is definitely key for that. Again, hopefully that helped. Is grab a book and just think of how to solve a problem, even if you don't want to do it or you want to do it at that time.
Thank you so much. I am definitely going to go and order that book on Amazon after this call. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Pass it back to Jenna.
Thanks, honey.
Thank you so much, Ariel, for those incredible questions. And I love those answers. I mean, just taking immediate action. It's, you know, it's such a simple concept, but sometimes it's not so easy to do. And we forget about the resources that we have at our fingertips to utilize. Like just hopping on a go live can give you reassurance as to what you're here for and what you're doing. I have a couple more questions from some ladies that aren't able to be on the call. So I'm going to ask the questions for them. The next question I have is going to be from Krista. And she asked, and I know she has an issue with this. How do you handle others placing judgment on what you're doing, as in, you know, affiliate marketing and trading? You know, I'm sure it's come up for you. People like, oh, why are you doing that? Or that's a pyramid or whatever. How do you handle that?
I love that. I love that question. And I try to have, you know, a lot of answers for everything, but you guys just understand that these answers don't actually come from me. You know, I'm just a messenger. But I actually have an answer from that because I was placed into proximity and qualified for the Jason Brown and Matt Rosa boot camp that happened in Miami in January, and Alex Morton. And Alex Morton got up and he's speaking, and that was some raw training, you guys. There was no hype, there's no lights, there's no music. It was one after the other of training. And Alex Morton got up there, and I use this from now on. I kind of used it a little bit before I even heard this, but you know, of course we get people saying a couple of things that come to mind. You make money off the backs of other people's work. It's a pyramid scheme. It's a pyramid. It's well, I'd rather work a real job. You know, yeah, we hear all kinds of stuff, right? So if again, this comes down to, and I'll try not to answer this long, but personal development. Someone can be negative to us, but we hear it differently. We hear, okay, I hear you. I understand. Maybe something like happened in the past of network marketing or affiliate, or someone, you know, was not there for you. There's something, right? It's not really what you're doing. It's just something that they're putting judgment on that deals with them, not you. So once we first understand that, then we can answer in a very positive, professional way to a negative comment. So when someone says, first, let's just crush this whole pyramid thing. Okay. He says, think of it, you know, he goes, actually, it's a push and pull business. You need to push yourself to elevate so you can pull somebody else up, and you keep that on repeat as a lifestyle for this, you know. And a lot of times, you know, I don't say network marketing, nothing with the word. I love networking. Networking is life. I mean, we're networking now. I mean, if you don't network, I mean, you're probably dead or something. I don't know what's going on, but I mean, networking is talking. Networking is being out and social and parties and stuff like that. So everybody's networking, and we don't network and then just decide to get paid for it. It's a career skill set we do for trading, but other people are wanting to learn a skill set we do, and that's where the network comes into. So Alex Morton says, when someone comes up to him and says something like, well, pyramid scheme, he's like, well, first of all, a scheme is when you have no product and you make money. So that's actually impossible because we have many products. So there you go for that one. And then pyramid, it's actually like an inverted pyramid. You guys write that down for sure. This is gold. Inverted pyramid. Because of it being a push and pull business, we have to push ourselves up and learn things and mentorship and things like that in our skill set for training so we can pull someone else up. So you go up, like you learn, and then you got to come back down. So it's like half a circle, but it's inverted. So it's actually not a pyramid, because we all know what a pyramid is, right? So it's actually impossible to be a pyramid if the only way to succeed in this industry and this company, which is why we're number one, is to help other people before you help yourself. You help them win, you win. You help enough people get what they want, you get what you want, and you create a win-win situation. So when someone asks me that, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, did you have something in the past? Were you in this industry, or did someone maybe not network with you right, or kind of let you down? Like, you have to ask someone questions, and I'm telling you, they got something to say. They're like, yeah, well, I had some friends, and they're just trying to sell me all these products and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, well, we're a career sketch, so we are traders. There's multiple ways to make online income, and we have a ton of people who want to learn this from us. And so we personally develop ourselves and our skill set. And then the only way for us to be successful is to help others first. And it's a win-win situation. So that's how I explain that. Now, when I'm in front of someone, I maybe take 1 or 2 minutes to explain it. But of course, I want to ask, I want to answer fully, your question. But that is what I say. And I promise you, when they see the softness that's over you, the positivity that's over you, the posture and confidence that is over you, that they can say something negative, but that just bounced right off you because you didn't hear that. And sometimes like, I try to be humorous because I love my personality. I think I can be kind of funny in a way. So when I actually start using my hands, and I'm like, actually, if you think about it, we're like half a circle, and I start doing all that stuff, like we have to go up and then we have to come back down and help someone up. They're like laughing, and they even forget that they even said the word pyramid scheme. You said, because now you're on their level, they're on your level, you're having fun, you're relating, you're really explaining it. And if someone else wants to come in a different direction and be like, you know what, that's fine. What do you do? What is your career? What do you do? Because what I do and what you do is not for everybody. If I'm talking to a doctor, I'm like, God bless you, because honestly, I think everyone has a purpose, and that's your purpose. Thank you for helping other people. I could not do that, so thank you for doing that. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you go with people, because again, relationship marketing and being there for other people, or really understanding what relationships are as a lifestyle, they either don't want to understand that, or they can't, or you see what I'm saying, or they're coming from a negative place. And what I learned from Katie and Elaine is, even though you want to try to be there for everybody and you want to try to help everybody on mindset or how much potential they could have or whatever, you can't. And that kind of hurt me in the beginning, because I want to be there for everybody. I don't want anybody to struggle in life, but that's not my purpose, is to help everyone not struggle. My purpose is to help the ones that do have an open mind, do want change, do see, want to dig into their purpose a little more. And so by you having an understanding of that, sometimes if you back away from someone a little bit, they're still watching, and then they'll come back to you, whether, they feel that you can help them with their purpose or help them be just better in different areas. That's happened to me at multiple times. And sometimes I've never seen those people again. But just remember, come back with a posture and confidence, softness of yourself, where anyone can say something negative to you about what you do on network marketing or relationship marketing or anything like that. And come with some education, like an inverted pyramid. And we have to pull people up. And that's the only way to win in our company, which is the only one like it. Come back with some backed education and some back knowledge and wording, and then make them laugh, making things like that, and pretend like they don't even remember anything negative they did say. But you guys, that definitely takes some posture and confidence. So I've practiced a lot of responses in the mirror, or I put myself on Zoom calls, okay, with myself. So because it does take some confidence and posture to not stumble and things like that. So highly recommend that. Is just really pretend like someone's saying a lot of these comments to you, and how do you present it? There's a lot of times I would present it, but I would record myself and I'm like, man, I don't sound confident at all. Like, there's no posture there. So keep on practicing, like, and then the more and more you practice, it just like flows out. And then when it flows out, you're already carrying yourself differently. So I hope that helps. Alex Morton, that's the biggest thing you can take away from the training I got from him, was an inverted pyramid. And you can kind of explain that because again, you guys, our company, I Am Academy for the relationship marketing, is not your normal network marketing. We don't have a product where, okay, we'll go all the way up, and if you don't work, that's it, but I'm still making all this money. The goal is to not hit a P5000 rank or a P2000 rank. It's about, for Dave and I, how many people can we help get $600 residually? Get their education paid for? How many people who said they want P2000, how many people can we help get $2,000 a month residually in trading? You see, so it's how many P600s, P150s, P1 and 2000s can you help other people get money into their household income? And you'll obviously just see your back ops and your household income come in as well.
Awesome. I love that. I love that rebuttal. That's awesome. I'm definitely going to go back and rewatch this recording again. I hope you guys do too, because definitely need to practice that inverted pyramid for sure. And that's something that I always stand by too. It's how you come at the person. You have to be confident and stand in your posture. And that proves everything, right? When you're really confident in your word and what you're talking about. I don't want to take too much more time, but I have two more questions that I think are really important. My friend and my girl, Ivana, she's on the call. She's in a loud place, so she can't really talk. But I'm going to ask this question for her. Specifically, what did you do differently from P1000 to P2000 and going forward to P5000?
Yeah, absolutely. So going from, you said a P600 or P150 or okay, yeah, P600. It was to get to different levels, because remember, we can call it ranks. I sometimes don't even call it ranks. I just call it different levels. We're promoting ourselves. We have the power to do that. Different promotions that you have within your own work and what you're able to do and what you're able to offer other people is going to require always new things. Even if something's working, you've got to maybe scale it up 10 times more, because what's going to get you to P600 to P1 is not the same thing that's going to help you develop and improve from a P1 to P2 or P2 to P5 and so forth. You have to move differently. You have to talk differently. You have to speak differently. You have to do different collaborations. And so knowing that, get creative, like sit in a meeting with yourself and be like, okay, this is what I learned from P1 to 600. That's great. What do I need to scale up to another level to create $600, $1,000 a month? And what's something new I can do? What's something new? Can I run a in-person workshop in my area? Instead of just doing in-person like opportunity calls, let's do like a 3-hour workshop. Let's get some people on go live. Let's really hang out with them, and get creative. What else can I do to attract leaders, to attract people, and not just leaders, but people who want to learn or know the power of residual income, and to impact other people and get out there and be social and create like a lifestyle and community. What can I put on social media that I'm being intentional of attracting business partners? What's something I can put on social media that's going to attract, traders that I know want to learn the skill set, but they don't know I'm out here. So what can I do? Can I do some campaigns, promotions? So get creative on yourself to reach those new levels. What I did from P150 to 600 was I edified myself to P600, you guys, and almost pretty much P1000. Edification, and there's a book, I don't have it. Alex Morton said, edify your way. You can edify your way to the top. I'll have to get that book. But it's edification of your job as P150 to 600 is connect. It's not to share the plan. It's not to, spend 30 minutes explaining the IM Academy to somebody. Is to connect them. So if I'm connecting a gentleman, a businessman that wants to learn how to trade as a P150 or P600 and stuff, I'm going to edify Katie Lane, Jason Brown, Dave Pasquale. I'm going to edify them, be like, oh, you want to learn crypto? You have got to meet Dave Pasquale. Like, he loves training. He breaks it down really simple. Make it like they walk on water, you guys, and just connect and edify the mentor, and then 3-way call. And let the mentor take it, or let the educator take it, from there. And then while they're doing it, you're writing notes, you're learning. But you guys, you can really literally edify your way. And I think a lot of people just don't utilize their mentors enough. Again, I don't know every single mentors, but on this call is a strong group of women. So I know you guys are coming from other strong men and women as well. So just edify that. Don't think that you need to do anything more or less than just be able to have this new person really see the academy for what it is from an experienced person. As a P150, I was not the experienced person. I was like, in my head, I'm like, you deserve to hear from someone who really can give you this massive value, where I'm still new. I can't do that. So just connect and use your mentors. Oh, this is sweet. Thank you. Sweet. They're thanking you. And just edify your way to P1. And then of course, have your mentors, watch you open a call and then they close it. And then when you finally, it's like maybe P1000, P2000 and stuff, move differently on levels, where now you're running a call and they're coming on just as like a guest speaker, a little bit of your mentors for, people who really want to learn the skill set. But you guys, edification is different, and then move at different levels if you want different levels, and really be aware of what you're doing and what you're not, and how to get creative.
Thank you so much for that. Edification is super key. It's something that I'm working on every single day, and I know the ladies are as well. Role playing is another really good thing. Like you said, doing Zooms is just like the best way to do it. Just getting out there and taking action and utilizing your mentors. I think for me, at least, I definitely don't utilize what I have, those resources, enough. So definitely going to take that advice. Thank you so much. For the last couple of minutes, I would love for you to just give any advice that you possibly have, any last words that you would like to leave with the ladies and gentlemen of I Am Academy, anything that you would like everyone to know.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I've got them here real quick. So if you guys want to write those notes down, I'm going to show you a couple of things. I'm very, very big on organization and intention. You guys, I do enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, really, really encourage you to try to learn how to enjoy organization. You're going to get a lot of things done. Get lots of whiteboards, put it out where you visually see it. But you want categories for things so you can move with intention, move with momentum. And so you want categories. So the biggest thing I would learn that you can even get trainings out of and give value to somebody else, give value to your social media, give value to yourself, is categories of different books, you guys. Number one, on how to think about money. Number one book I would do is Think and Grow Rich. I know probably all of you guys have heard this book. Make sure you read this many, many times. Okay, I've read this about twice. I'm on my third time right now, but in my 90-day run right now, it's 4 books for me, and I'm going to share that. So this is money mindset right here, Think and Grow Rich. But then you want to have a basics of marketing, right? Network marketing, relationship marketing. Make sure GoPro is so bent that you've read it so much that this is what you go for, and always know that you are not too smart for the basics, like all basic stuff. Okay, so GoPro for obviously business side, networking and marketing and all this stuff with other people. So that's another category that you're kind of filling in for yourself. We're all on social. So right here, becoming a person of influence. I did actually a training on this for the organization. This is very big, you guys. This is not actually how do I get a customer? How do I get a leader? And I want. You have to understand, how does someone look at you first? How do you influence someone, whether they're in the business or they're not? How do you influence someone on a day-to-day basis? And so John C. Maxwell, I read, and I'm working on like every single one of his books to read, but I would definitely get this. So this is going to help on attracting and your social media and things like that, and just influence, again, from social media, but person to person as well. The last thing, you guys, and I love this book. It is a new book for me, you guys. You Are a Badass Every Day. Okay, this one is amazing. Okay, it's a short read, it's a fun read, and it's really it really breaks it down. So this right here is for our attitudes, you guys, our boss attitudes. Okay, and it's really, really fun. It really kind of spits it out there and kind of gives you like a look at yourself and what you're doing and what you're not doing, and really just kind of, it's like an encouragement book. So this works on like attitude. And so when you have that, it's going to speak about on all these books that the confidence that you have, we had when we were born. The world has changed that for us, saying, well, we're not pretty enough, or we're not skinny enough, or we're not on social media enough, or other women don't want to hang out with me for whatever reason. Or there's all kinds of stuff that the world will tell us that diminishes our confidence. But you have to remember, the confidence is already in you. It's already there. We just have to work on our subconscious mind and conscious mind to really pull that out and be like, wait a minute, I am enough. I have what many thousands all over the world need. I just have to know how to operate in that. So while we're reading books like this and things like that, we're reprogramming our minds of how to reoperate with full confidence, because it's already in there. It might be, a little to the side and stuff, but it's not lost. It's in there. And then another thing too, just from trainings, is excuses. We all have them. I have them. But it's just challenging you to have the power over your excuse having the power over you, because an excuse right there is just hindering what we really know is real. If we say we don't have enough time, that's really not true. If we say we don't know how to do it, that's not really not true. We know how to get the instructions on how to do something if we really want to. So really kind of think of it as that excuse doesn't have the power over you, and you have the power over that excuse. So say the excuse out loud, and then say, if your excuse is, say, I don't have enough time tonight to do that go live, say it out loud, and then say, I do have the time for that go live. So now you just crush that excuse with verbally and put it out there in the universe. And a lot of times, you guys, we have to, I do it every day. We have to speak it out loud. And then if it sounded wrong or negative in our head or an excuse, we have to pause for a second and then cover that up with what we really know what we have. You know, we really know we have, at least if we can't do the whole go live for an hour, I got 30 minutes. Let's do 30 minutes. You know, it's better than not doing it at all. And you guys, I mean, I'm just a world of knowledge just because I have been so blessed to be around Matt Rosa, Jason Brown, Alex Morin in person with all these trainings. And again, you know, I'm the messenger. That's why I love value paying it forward. It's not me. You know, I definitely plug a little bit of my attitude into and like my bluntness and tough love sometimes in those trainings, of course, and from experiences of what I learned. But it's really just a pouring out of all these incredible, successful individuals that I've been happy to be around. So I've got lots of trainings and things to show you. But the biggest thing is you guys, and no matter what personalities we have and we come from, because there's always so many types of people and types of personalities and ways to want to work with people. But just remember, like, if it's your family or a stranger, nobody can tell you what you can and cannot have. Nobody can tell you that, just your mind can. So really try to be strong on those days where you might not be as strong. And when you are really strong, like post more on social media, like put that energy out there. You know what I'm saying? Put 2 posts, do reels and stuff. Put that energy out there, because whatever you put out there, you know, will definitely come back. And last thing I want to say, you guys, I encourage you is don't be numbers driven on your back office. You're impacting a whole lot more people than your back office is going to tell you. So try not to let that, you know, work you over or anything like that. Because I even deranked 2 days from P600 back to P150 for 2 days. I've deranked from P1000 for like, I think almost 1 or 2 days and stuff. You can't have that matter to you. You have to say, okay, you know what, stay the course. I know what I'm doing. And even when you deranked, I even know that I came back 10 times stronger, closer to P2. You know, so even I deranked a little bit from P2. Of course, we're going to come back and we're halfway, you know, to P5. And so you have to look at what you're doing and you have to believe in what you're doing. And the back office is just a back office, you guys. It's not, it doesn't know your heart, doesn't know your work ethic. So that's the biggest thing is don't look at that back office every day, you guys. I would definitely tell you not to do that. Be responsible in your business and stuff, but you should be looking at how many Zoom calls you have a day or how many people you're reaching out instead of the numbers on your back office. And so you guys, I'm on social media. Yeah, I'm here for anything. I am, again, girl, I'm so honored. I'm absolutely so honored to be able to hear all these incredible smart questions. Like these are probably some of the best questions I've even ever been asked. And so it's so balanced. And I just want to let you know, I appreciate all you ladies. I can't wait to learn from you guys on your social medias and what you guys put out there. And again, you know, my cup runs over all the time, every single day. And I can't tell you how grateful I am for a group of women like you. So I appreciate your questions and actually staying on for an hour for this.
Thank you so much, Amber. You guys can go find Amber on Instagram. It's amber.pasquale. I hope I'm not butchering your last name.
You're good, Pasquale. Yep.
Pasquale. Okay.
I married an Italian.
Pasquale. And let me tell you guys, she is super humble. Like me and Shauna ran into her on the street in West Palm, and she was just like an open book. Wanted to connect right away and like answers the DMs right away. So I'm sure if you have any personal questions that you want to go ahead and ask her, go follow her, go DM her. She is a servant leader. She gave us some I wasn't even expecting this. Like, oh my God, this was such an amazing call. Thank you so much. So super grateful for you. If you guys want to recap anything, because I definitely know I have to go back to the YouTube Tradehouse Queens, and you could see everything that we had here tonight. I can't wait to have you back. I hope we can have you back another day. Thank you guys so much for being on. Thank you, Amber. And I will see you guys next Wednesday. Have